Welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Simon Steiner. Today, once again, we've got now championship tournament bound Jason Nichols, head coach of the women's basketball program here at Morton College. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So for the third consecutive year, you've qualified for the national tournament in women's basketball, Division II, NJCAA. How does that rank on your list of accomplishments through your storied career?
I mean, it's another opportunity to win at a high level. We did that at the high school level, getting downstate, I believe, 11 times. And being 3 years in a row, it's pretty cool, especially to start a career at the college level, transitioning from high school. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think about it much. Maybe when I'm done with this, I'll think about it. But, you know, in the moment right now, yeah, it's a pretty good accomplishment. And coming off finishing second last year and coming back now as the #1 seed in the tournament is, you know, there's a lot of expectations with that, and hopefully we can meet them.
And we'll get to the tournament in just a moment, but I want to recap real quick the Midwest District B tournament. You knew you had to win because there's no at-large qualifiers. You had a pretty big ranked team in the bracket with you because of how they work the crossovers in Rock Valley. Talk about that championship game. I know that it wasn't exactly what you guys were gearing up for. Talk a little bit about how that game came down.
Well, Rock Valley was ranked 9th, and we had played them once earlier in the year in December, beat them by 10 on our home court. So we knew it would be a tough game. The circumstances changed a little bit when they only had 5 players due to some kids going on the court when there was some pushing and shoving. So, but those 5 kids could still play, and they gave us a battle, you know, really up until halftime. And we were up 14 at half, but they pushed us. And was it tough? No, we prepared like we normally prepare for everybody. Respect your opponent, put in all the work. But the reality is you see 5 people only on the court, and I felt like we didn't come out strong right away. But then over time we wore them down. And they were still a good opponent. They had 3 kids that were in their starting lineups for the whole year. They have a good coach. They have a good program. It was on their home court. So there were some things that we definitely had to overcome, and we did. And we ended up winning by about 30, 28 or 30, and pulled away late. So they pushed us, which was good. We had not been pushed in a long time, and I felt like it was something we needed.
And that leads into the tournament coming up. You open up with United Tribes Technical College out of Bismarck, North Dakota. They're the 16 seed. What do you see on film for them?
Team that can really, really shoot the ball, and they play fast with the ball in their hands. So we're going to have to really get out on them in a hurry. We're going to have to guard their better players that we've scouted so far. Do I think we're a better team than them? I do, but that means nothing. You have to go out and you got to play the game. We're going to create some issues for them as well. And, you know, being a first game at a tournament, everybody's a little bit nervous. So hopefully once we get our feet wet and we get the kinks out, because it's a 9-10 day layoff in between the Rock Valley game. So once I think we get our everything going and we're running on all cylinders, I think that we'll be okay. And then we have the experience from last year as well.
And you open up with a 6 o'clock game on day 1 of the tournament. Assuming you win that, you'll have a day off, and then potentially looking at 3 consecutive games. You need to win 4 games in 5 days, 3 of them on the last 3 days of the tournament. How do you prepare both physically and mentally for that kind of experience?
Well, hopefully we win the first game so we are put in that position to prepare for it. You know, we have not played 3 in a row this year. It's different, there's no doubt about it, but you're at the end of the year. So it's more like, suck it up. We're going to scout, we're going to prepare, we'll get the bodies back. And those teams have to play the same way as we do. So there is no advantage or disadvantage for anybody involved. You just got to go about doing your business and preparing and hoping that, you know, the work you put in and that if you execute in that game that you're going to be victorious. So, and if we get to do it again on, you know, win Thursday and we get to do it again Friday, that'd be great. And if we win again Friday and we get to do it on Saturday, that's even better. So I just think it's more about your approach and understanding that both teams are in the same circumstances.
In that potential next game, you've got Richard Bland, the 8 seed, and Mid-Michigan, the 9 seed. A bit of a local game for them. How do you feel about potentially playing a local team?
You know, I mean, they got to win first too. Yeah. So I'm sure, I mean, I haven't even thought about it. I've snuck a peek at both of those teams literally for 5 minutes. and that was more to get off of United Tribe and just, that's my main focus, because if you don't beat them, the next game really doesn't, it's irrelevant. So, but I snuck a peek at both of them. They're all good, solid teams. They're good as well. So anybody you play on a one-game setting where your season can be over, or you're put in a loser's bracket and you're just playing to play back for a place in the tournament, is dangerous, and you have to respect that, and you got to put all your preparation and your focus and your work into that game. So to look ahead, can't do it.
You've earned the top seed, so that potentially will cause a semifinal rematch on the other side of the bracket between Community College, Baltimore County, Essex, and Kirkwood, the defending national championship, 2 versus 3. How big is that to potentially stay out of having to play both of those teams?
Yeah, they're both good. They're really good teams. But before we ever even got to that point, let's say we're fortunate enough to win. I mean, we have to go up against a Johnson County or Harcum that I believe could win the whole tournament as well. So if we are ever to the point where we got to play Kirkwood or Essex in a championship game, that'd be great. That means we did something well in the first 3. But those are 2 good, great programs, teams that we went through last year. Johnson County and Harcum are 2 good, varied programs as well that we could potentially meet in the semis, but they got to get there too. So a lot of stuff plays out differently. Look at us last year. We were a 7 seed, and we literally won our first game against the 10 seed, and then we had to beat Johnson County, who was the 3 seed, 2 seed. Then we had to beat Essex, who was the 3 seed, and then you had to beat Kirkwood. So you're going to play good teams along the way. And again, it's all about the team in front of you that day that you have to focus on. There's some really good teams there. I'll tell you that right now.
So I want to switch gears real quick and ask you about the tournament experience, the experience off the floor. How does that compare to some of the other championship experiences you've had in your career?
Well, from high school to college, it's way different. So when you go down to Redbird Arena in Normal, Illinois, you play 2 games. You're playing Friday, Saturday. Here, you're literally, we're in there Sunday, and we're not coming back till Sunday. That's a long week. And during that time, think about it, that's 7 days. You're playing 4 games. So it's taxing. I remember it from last year. I remember the Saturday after the championship game. I mean, obviously there's a little emotion with that when you lose, but man, I was exhausted, and it was really exhausting on the kids. So there's some mental toughness that's got to come into this. And the way we talked about it at practice yesterday, it's like, listen, you got 8-9 days left in your season, and you just got to suck it up and grind and get through it, and you can relax and chill and do whatever you want afterwards. And but it's kind of managing things. It's different for the players than the coaches. For the coaches, it's all about preparation, film, go watch games. I mean, there's really no time to breathe. I'll be honest with you. We'll be up till 1 a.m. doing scouting reports and so we're ready. And the girls are different. They got to get their bodies back, and then they got to learn from us. So it happens fast. It's not like, okay, we play United and we have literally 6-7 days to prepare for them. Well, we beat United. I got 1 day to prepare for the next opponent, 1 day to prepare for the next opponent. So it's totally, completely different scenario than high school when you're downstate. So, and it's tough. I mean, it is tough. This is not a pleasure trip. There's no time for that. Hopefully the pleasure comes afterwards when we sit back, relax, and look and see what we accomplished this season.
Perhaps you might just cross the St. Clair River and celebrate in Canada after you win a big trophy.
You never know. We'll see what happens.
That's about all we have time for today. If you'd like to follow along in Coach Nichols and the Morton College Panthers National Championship aspirations, you can check out the NJCAA Network. A link will be posted in the description. And for all things Panther Athletics, don't forget to stop by www.gomcpanthers.com. Once again, for Coach's Corner, I'm your host, Simon Steiner. Thanks again, Jason.
You got it. Thanks.